Where are we going?
I think the striker band. Oh, it's Eye of Mizra. That's at the top. So important. And now we get to ban depending on that. So it's important to have mobile strikers here. The Flyers are going to be supreme. The Luminays have been so important at carrying that objective. So we'll see if Team EVA are confident against that. Now, trying to take care of some of these ultra heavies is important to them.
It is. Stego is going to be the one that refreshes your shields, really makes it impossible to uproot the other. Oh my God, I thought that was a Tricera band too, but it flips over to Falcon real quick at the last second. So Aquila's can reign here if we do get some of that air dominance. Inferno coming in was huge. We saw for Reset, we saw for MDB, some of the top Inferno players in the world, and we will get it again. Oh, they switched off of Inferno for Team EVA.
Okay, I was wondering if they were going to go for the secondary flyer. So Hunter on the Sky Raider is great. You got a sniper, so ranged and mobility from Team EVA with, of course, the Lumina. No, it's Kai thinking about the Pinaka or the Luminate. That's tough. Do you want more single target resources with the Pinaka? Do you want to enable your Sky Raider? Or do you want to kind of assist your tanks to stay grounded with the Luminate? So, of course, the mobility boost from Luminate is something you can't underestimate. Ooh, Aleseness.
Yeah, taking quite a bit of time to fill out these squads. CSTG are bringing a lot of power, but Team EVA, they have this air dominance that's going to be able to have Aquila in the air, Sky Raider helping that as well. I believe it's up to Aleseness to really cause trouble for them, because otherwise the other Aquila could just easily be focused out.
A Panther on this map is what's kind of interesting to me, because I feel like there's just going to be so much mobility, so much flying around, and Panther has to lock down a target, and if everyone's so mobile, how is he going to do? Maybe Panther's going to thrive more once the storm comes out and everyone's kind of confused and can't see as much. That could be a fun Panther time.
We did kind of see that going crazy in our past few matches with Panthers and our back and forth. What we'll have to see for EVA and CSTG as they get onto Eye of Mizra again, capping the keys, bringing them to the shuttle for 30 points, or 15 points, 5 a tick there if you are able to extract the key, but you have to get there alive. Do we see point play here for capture, or do we see these teams going for the kills on the way to the escort?
Now the key will not be generated quite yet, so it's just going to be about fragging out, and already some low health targets from CSTG. You got Ozzy, who's below half health, no armor, a double kill from EVA.
Yinzi almost about to go down as well. Ooh, gets a quick heal up there, recharges everything, and yeah, one down for CSTG very, very fast as they continue to fight around the middle of the map. We see Yinzi just trying to cause some problems here. Slow movement, he's going to release this and get himself back to safe armor.
That's important to have those multiple lives, but the cooldown is so long to get armored back up, and of course you'll have that back if you do die. But remember, the respawn timers are so long, like 20 to 25 seconds, and they get longer for each death. And look, this Panther has already isolated a target, gets the chase down, low HP, direct damage, about to just
leave the Inferno alone.
Down smash, but is low on energy. This stagger is so BM. So BM.
He's like, when are you going to stop jumping? Just let it happen. I'm coming at you. Oh, my word. Playing with their food right now. Lemon still going after these shots. Look at the Aquila hitting left and right beautifully. Ready to take one out. Just one more shot. Direct damage. Oh, it can't be done. They're slowly keeping each other alive, and the fluid armor's back in.
The biggest differences in these comps is Aquila and Panther from the side of EVA, Aleseness, Inferno from CSTG. So different game plans as the key still hasn't spawned, and EVA are just kind of setting the tone of this map one.
Capping on the Lume now. Easy point. Wait, yeah, actually in there. I thought they were in the box for a second. Huge flash coming out of Welkin as they try to get out of this situation, but still chased by baby Aleseness here. Moving around, trying to get the kills.
There's the full upload from EVA on their first objective, a commanding start, and CSTG are getting a bit staggered from each other, and this has not been good. They have not had all 6 strikers alive, and Ken is just picking them apart. CSTG just can't pressure this sniper back, and Ken is more than enough. This has been one of the MVP snipers of this Mecha Break tournament.
He's crazy. We've actually seen all of his targets trying to live with just a sliver of health behind these walls. They're just relegated to hiding. A beautiful wall to get into the air, but that's going to leave Welkin a bit out of sorts once they hit the ground, and yeah, that's going to be a chase here from Border. Ooh, it's painful.
Yeah, and now that you banned the Stego, you don't have to worry about displacing these tanks as much. Stego just outputting so much DPS, maybe allowing some of these flyers to run around a lot more. There is a key generated over at A, which is inside of a building, and EVA are playing gatekeep while someone has already grabbed the key.
Who does have it? It's getting tossed around. Kia's looking to get out. Still got some speed. Yinzi now we're focusing back on to getting the Elysinus armor back. 2 more lives to use here, but the key is so far in the distance, there's almost no chance.
And you just won't be able to stop that if you're CSTG. I think at this point, you just got to put a Band-Aid on it, stop the ship from sinking. They've just been constantly staggered, and I don't even know how many kills CSTG have realistically gotten.
Yeah. It's been tough. I mean, Yinzi just had one for himself, but it's not much more than that across the squad. Border is still just making the Welkin's life living hell. You can see the box isn't really to fight. The box is for safety, and everything that CSTG is trying to do is in defensive mode.
Yeah, and CSTG have their own Aquila, and it has to be the one to disrupt the other side. So Sanju versus Ken. But how can you go up against Ken? It's 73-2, which tells me CSTG have only gotten 2 kills over the course of the few minutes we've been watching this. This is domination from EVA.
And that's what we were worried about. No more than the 1 Aquila for air superiority. The Sky Raider on the side of EVA must be giving Sanji so much in the air, if in damage-wise, and just making them have to reposition, which is not what the Aquila wants to be doing.
That's a good point about the Sky Raiders. Just so much disruption,
yeah,
so
right
much
here
to look up at. And Hunter already coordinating with the pings that are included in game. No fluid armor.
It's exactly like you called it.
It's CSTG are running for their lives, but there's barely any shelter on this map, and the sandstorm would be the only thing that could cover CSTG's tracks. And now with this final upload, this will be EVA absolutely slapping the heck out of CSTG in map number 1.
The storm doesn't even get to come in. Keep your umbrellas and your jackets in the closet. Not needed here as EVA scream through Eye of Mizra. Get that ship uploaded and extracted, and really smart play to the points first. And I think clear air superiority ruled this match.
Yeah, and CSTG having a lot more forgiveness, utilizing the Elysinus, but having to get back into armor so fast.
Yeah.
Because you don't have as many bells and whistles in baby Elysinus or unarmored Elysinus. And they were trying to disrupt the key, but were constantly forced to retreat and to group back up. There was never an advantage for CSTG. I mean, they only got 2 kills. That says enough. Yeah,
we didn't even get to see these teams play Eye of Mizra today, so now we see how effective EVA can be with the double air superiority. And being to the points first, I think we saw big that Ken didn't want the points, but was first there. And you're either going to try to fight that Aquila, or Ken's going to be good enough to just bring you down to half, and you have to leave the point. So it was really a trade-off of if you can get close enough, if you can, you need your whole team there, or Ken is still going to be able to work some magic.
Well, CSTG can at least pick our next map.
Yes.
And Palm Bay Harbor was one that they won against CLGG yesterday. So we'll see if that could be something they're looking forward to.
I think so Graceland Sky City and Palm Bay Harbor, I think, will offer the most in diversity between where you're going. One, just on Palm Bay Harbor as you move through sections of the map. Graceland Sky City, obviously from map to map, but which do we think is more effective, right? You need to have really good teamwork, control over the payload if you want to get onto Harbor, but it does kind of deny Aquila's and air superiority a bit of reprieve for some time where they can't fight inside so much. So maybe that favors CSTG here.
It's tough to come up with a solution for a team.
Yeah, we go down rabbit holes and rabbit holes.
A team that plummeted so fast and tried to get back on their feet just to fall down again. Yeah. I would think maybe Palm Bay Harbor would be a fun, like, either Hurricane or Elysinus map. CSTG utilized the Elysinus, and that stall potential was really strong. It's just the team factor that they were never able to group back up, because when you do die, you're not respawning always next to your teammates. So to find each other, to fly each other, and it's not like EVA's going to watch this happen. They're constantly aggressive. Yeah,
and looking at even the maps yesterday, they had Cape Blanc. We saw that flawless win into their Graceland Sky City. So that was a Stego Welkin Tricera They were going for elevation there, and really only when they fell off elevation did it hurt them. So they did falter when they weren't on the high ground. There is a kind of a scratch to that armor that they have, and they can be beaten.
And CSTG tried to target ban a Falcon, but you cut off one head of the dragon and more grow, or whatever the saying is. Like, again, EVA are such a flexible team. They brought out the Sky Raider as a backup plan. They had Aquila. They had a Panther. They had threats from up high, down low, in your face, at a distance. There were so many threats that I don't blame CSTG to not really know how to address them in a tense moment.
Ken again, the Ken VP. Does it ever stop? 1.2 million with almost 500,000 direct. And yeah, you got to give props over to Sky Raider Hunter up there doing so much work to help him stay in that position to crush. And there it is, still at 61%. I'm pretty sure that's just like the same number from yesterday. An ace at 7-0-5.
The no deaths is what stands out to me. Of course, yeah, the 2 kills from the other team, that says a lot. But Sanju was mirroring on the Aquila. And I think a sniper's job is either to focus the other Aquila or to poke down the ultra heavies. And I'm sure that Sanju just had so many fires to extinguish and not enough help.
Yeah, it becomes tough. When you're chasing around with Aquila is shooting, but also trying to heal the tanks, you're spread way too thin. And as Lumine, you're basically just reloading your drones all the time, knowing you don't have enough for the squad. Border and Supa, in these Panthers that we're seeing across the tournament, so much fun. Yinzi as well. And here it is some more.
Look at the stagger and look at the smile on his face while he does it. What an absolute menace. And we were talking about wanting to see the Panther mirror. And I mean, I wasn't really expecting it on Eye of Mizra. I was even questioning whether Border, if this was the right plan with such an open map with no cover and no ways to sneak around. And Yinzi understood the objective. I mean, let go of the Panther. The guy who only played Panther yesterday went to the Eliseness. But maybe CSTG, if they're confident in the Panther mirror, go to something like Graceland Sky City and have Yinzi face off against Border.
Yeah, play a little cat and mouse game with those Panthers, try to get him off the outside, because like we said, Graceland Sky City changes each time you're going to see it, but we're going to Karab Sinkhole, a map requiring a lot of teamwork with those 3 capture points, Lemon.
And maybe CSTG can thrive in that chaos where in comparison to our previous series, you don't want to always just all fight 6v6 in the middle of the map forever, especially if you're losing. There's got to be a backup plan. Start pressuring the perimeter, send your flyers, send your mobile units. You got to separate sometimes and maybe even divvy up your forces, because if you can have EVA really trip up over their laces, that could be a moment for CSTG to come back.
I feel like the Aquila gets banned out here. They have to destroy some air superiority from EVA, I think, to get through this one. And maybe even take out the Stego on one side. Something has to give here if CSTG wants to cap this map.
Yeah, EVA banned Stego and CSTG banned the Falcon, but this didn't affect EVA whatsoever since they brought out the Sky Raider. But is CSTG going to want to continuously ban the Falcon? And you give yourselves a better chance if you don't put Ken on his best striker? Or do you want to try and target some of these ultra heavies that are going to base up really in the center of the map?
So CSTG, as the losing team, get the pick and ban first on the Lumine. And a Panaka? Everything is basically open, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a brawl with no sustain unless you're looking for a tiny Tricera drone.
Yeah, pretty much all damage is going to be permanent. It's going to be unforgivable, but also a less mobile side for Lumine, because it also does provide that movement speed. Pinaka really enables those flyers and those more isolated damage dealers.
Yeah.
So limiting those options means it's going to be very unforgivable if you find yourselves away from your team or you really, there's just no healing.
Sanju, what is the last pickup? Just watching the other team select the Elise needs from Minsk. Inferno gets locked in. Ooh, I like that for CSTG, actually. Inferno can always control A if you get the right positioning on that with a few teammates, and then you just need to get one more. So I'm actually giving this early fight over to CSTG here.
Panther mirror.
Yes.
Let's go. Yinzi versus Border. I am so ready for this. I'm so ready for this.
It is sick. They're two of the best.
Everyone just go away. I want the 1v1. Respect the 1v1 in the middle of the map.
Oh, Gladiator for A.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm so down.
You only dive in.
And the Welkin boxes both of them in, so they
Yeah.
Just the
Welkin to the refs. Nobody
would
inside
be
the
incredible.
boxes.
So maybe CSTG, now that they have one of their best players on their best strikers, will we have a more even matchup? But this is not about what striker you use, but how you use them and how you rotate around this map, because this can just make you go cross-eyed trying to like figure out where everybody is and who's pushing what point.
I was interesting in a few of the scrims. We saw some teams going once the map was already open on a few points, really trying to get to the outside and flank like an Eliseness from the sides instead of straight up the gut. Usually where the snipers are is on the sides, but we'll see if that's the play this time. Already going to a few of the side points just to get the fights. Are you getting what you asked for? You're getting what you asked for?
Yay!
Oh my gosh.
And that's maybe the game plan for the Panthers, to be the ones who explore the perimeter, and each other are marking each other by just focusing down where they are on the map. Yenzi versus Border. And it's not even on, the perimeter isn't even unlocked yet. But it is capped early by EVA in the middle.
Props to Border so far. He's doing a great job. That initial shield is almost taken down. Yenzi missed one pivotal lance there. Okay, they start to trade a little bit back and forth. And they're not even going for A just yet. It's about the Panther prowess.
Kills are pretty even, but the objective is what's going to win the map. And it's still, A is still claimed, but B and C have just, are going to be unlocked shortly. And CSTG need to gather their forces or figure out what is the plan. Are they concentrating at A, or is it just going to be these duels around the map?
Yenzi with the cancels is so disgusting. Or Border with the canceling on Yenzi is so disgusting right now. Just one more lance in will do it. He goes down. It's going to be the parry.
The Falcon 2 is something to consider from Team EVA. They're running Ken, and he can also fly around and be a nuisance on other objectives. But this won't be what I can watch.
Oh, the finisher!
Border, the finisher!
Our first finisher! Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can do finishers, and that is the first one we've seen in the competition in the Panther 1v1 we were blessed to see.
He is laughing while everyone is like hard calming. Border's like, I just finished off the other Panther.
I love that nobody went over there.
I got my one, said Border. And meanwhile, it's 100 to like 20, by the way. So another day at the office for China's #1 team.
That was awesome. And we're not going to stop either. They are going to keep it 1v1 the whole time on the side of the map. And this is something we love. This is going to be CSTG now double capping, though. So they're going to get some points back here.
I like that Yenzi waits for the stagger and is playing a more reactive style of Panther. Fantastic staggers in the pin down on Border. This is such an even matchup. CSTG are also coming back in the score.
Dude, a match to watch for the ages. Honestly, Panther mains for months, years will be coming back to watch this one.
Yenzi is so like stoic in his face too. Border's like kicking his feet, having a grand old time. Yenzi, this is like for the world championship in his mind. Like, CSTG are about to also take the lead, by the way, while we're watching this Panther off.
So good. Oh, just one. Both miss on that one. Oh, sliver of health. Both with direct damage to come through right now, and all they need to do is hit the lance. Yenzi's backpedaling just to get in position. Oh, there's the strike.
Macro-wise, we can see EVA going through the top of the map to capture C, and this could be what swings the game on its head. I'm surprised EVA have let this happen for this long. Finally, it's a double cap in favor of EVA.
There we go. We get back to the action. Senju now firing in on the Inferno from just over the fight to make sure they are raining down damage on the point. And now we are just about all even with this cap coming in from EVA as the points start to tick up.
Man, and this is why you can't let the Falcon float. Ken, you can't box him. You can't stop him, and he's out.
Perfect. You can see him hanging out, regen up on the crystals. Back into the fight, back out. And just absolute movement. Remember, Ken got double MVP from the Aquila to the Falcon. I don't know if we'll get that this time with all the pressure Border's putting on, but he is wreaking havoc on the Inferno around Sanju right now.
Look at these loop-de-loops. Ken is just untargetable. And he's also getting so much information around the map, even if it doesn't look like he's outputting that much damage. This is EVA have a good understanding
He's in his
of
spawn.
the map.
He's in his spawn! He is in his spawn! He went right to Yinzi's spawn area, and they're fighting in the chasm now.
The rest of CSTG are fighting for the middle of the map, by the way, so we still, as fun as this Panther matchup is, we have to remember there is still a game being played for a chance at the semifinal, okay? It's a double cap now for EVA, but that's no fun.
But the Panthers! Oh my gosh, this is too good. Yinzi again, however, getting the short end of the stick, or I should say the long end of the lance at this point, and he is not having fun here.
Meanwhile, EVA continue their lead with the double cap, and CSTG are focused on the middle. They're not spreading themselves too thin, and maybe Yinzi should be called over to help elsewhere, but honestly, who cares about us?
You are locked into legendary battle. They actually can't leave. They're tethered by lifeblood. They have to finish. Mings actually takes down Hunter there, so 1 down for CSTG. They're not able to stay on the map with 2, but 2 down for EVA as well, so it is actually a scatter out there over the other points.
Yeah, CSTG were trying to push C as well, but by the blue circles on the minimap, you could tell that CSTG are taking L's on multiple fronts. Yinzi about to take one as well in this Panther 1v1. The finisher again! Border!
Border getting the BM in there, straight to the chest as he grinds down and not piercing the heavens, but piercing the Yinzi. A high, beautiful job on the Welkin, spinning a finisher from the Welkin too. You love to see it.
Got his revenge.
Slamming him down.
Got his revenge for his teammate. But, guys, the objective, I don't want to be that guy, but does this really matter if you're losing the game? EVA are about to double the score. CSTG gotta push A or gotta push C.
EVA need one more. All of them, look at CSTG. They're all on the bottom left, getting to respawn, really. Also, the fight we've been seeing between Border and the Yinzi in that. As we have Ken now chasing down and being disruptive over these points to make sure that CSTG on entry is already having trouble.
Ken is harassing anyone who even thinks about the middle of the map with this Welkin box. If you can dodge a Welkin, you can dodge a ball. And Ken finally gets locked down with the slam dunk from A-High.
Yeah, some of those are going to hurt. Welkin is eventually going to find that lockdown of the overhead axe. Where can they deliver the damage now? We're getting close. Coming up on 900 now for EVA. And they are about to double the score. Have already doubled the score, rather, of CSTG.
This is pretty GG, but you know what? We won. The viewers
won hard.
We're entertained. I'm only looking at the stats between the two Panthers. I kind of almost want a solo stat of, like, who won the Panther matchup. I didn't want to write down all the kills, but Border and Yinzi are having such a fun time. Yinzi is even cracking a smile.
They got to be lonely right now. They're not even near each other. This must feel so weird for them.
CSTG just remembered now to double cap. It's kind of Jover unless you triple cap. But hey, friends of CSTG, if they could lose to anyone, it could be their brethren from China. This will be CSTG dropping to the lower bracket shortly. EVA, hey, at least they put on a good show.
This is actually what we asked for, a fight in the center from the Panthers. Spotlight on as the last points tick up here. And Yinzi had all the chance in the world to cap that A and triple it for a second before seeing Border just on the other side of the fight path.
Oh, there's a Stego interrupting this one.
No!
Border,
ban him.
You didn't actually take an L. They disrespected you, my king.
You see how much fun they're having right now. Awesome. Look at that finisher coming in. Boosh. Have not seen that one just yet. Very, very cool stuff. And it's just about to be over. 2 more points to tick in here, and that's all they need from one cap on the A. That was an extremely fun match to watch. Like Lemon said, EVA wins, but we win as the viewers.
We win.
We win as the viewers.
I wanted to
MVP, you guys.
We should have started this on Eye of Misra because it's even more huge of a map than Crop Sinkhole. Just the Sandstorm comes in, 2 Panthers facing off. Make a movie, a montage about that. But yeah, EVA move on to the semifinals to face the winner of Celestial Being and DSG coming up next. CSTG, it's not the end of the road. They'll have to, though, endure the lower bracket.
Oh, I need a breather. This is getting way too fun for these teams. The pilots and the strikers are having a blast here at the Mecha Break pre-launch global invitational. And as well, for two high-class teams to face off here, giving us such a great match and a beautiful Panther showing. We do see that EVA moves on, and they have been pretty dominant in all their matches. They are really one to watch now because they're going to make it to the uppers.
Yinzi and Border hugging and laughing about that Panther 1v1 at the end. That was the handshake I was looking forward to. Oh my God.
So awesome to see. Such camaraderie, so much respect as they take their rightful place here in front of the trophy and maybe even a few days just behind it to lift it high. It is going to be EVA with your win.
No Lumine, no Pinaka, just vibes and two Panthers duking it out for the win, the loss, but ultimately a good time, which is what we wanted being here in Zhuhai City, China for our Mecha Break Global Invitational. China sends their best team forward to the semifinal, but who else will be joining them? Will it be North America or another Chinese team?
Like CSTG, CLGG was also a match that showed us things we haven't seen before on Cape Blanc Observatory, where we had our extractors disappearing from the map because the teams were so strong at denying each other extractors. So whenever we see these teams go into a map, we know different stuff can happen, and seeing EVA do things like that, having so much control over maps, it really means that we're going to get to push the maps to the limit.
And just, I like how resilient CSTG are. I mean, they went all the way to map 3 against CLGG yesterday. They're just kind of accepting what was going to happen in this series and at least having fun in these 1v1s. Because I think winning my 1v1 in a Panther mirror, whatever mirror, like, I got my one. Like, I'm not the problem, says Yinzi on the other side. But there's going to be some problems to address if they want to stay alive in this tournament because, no more lives in the lower bracket.
No more lives. I'm excited. I hope we get the Panther interview, by the way. I also got to see who do you got on MVP. Who's your MVP?
Border.
Border? Not Ken.
No, I don't care about this Falcon. I care about the Panther. I care about the superior Alpha Panther, the Giga Panther. Give it to Border.
True. It was a Giga Panther. I don't know if Border doesn't. It'll be interesting to see if you can 1v1 yourself an MVP, because he was also toward that point doing some objectives. So he did balance out what it was going to become. And props to the rest of the team. We're not really sure what you did throughout the game, but I'm sure it was amazing. All of you guys played really well.
Whoever won, EVA won. The rest of you did great. Got the points, did your job.
Your dots on the mini-map were fantastic.
Yeah, I'd be in the comms like, guys, we got a cabin. It's like, okay. But they're all just laughing and no one can hear each other because it's just Border saying, I'm finishing him, I'm finishing him.
Like, even to break that down a little bit, we did see Border actually be able to kind of fake out with cancels Yinzi's attack and primarily be hitting the lances like one after another. So watching from Border's perspective there, because you can get red and blue POV on the YouTube channel for Mecha Break, which is amazing. Thank you so much for providing that production to go and see it from a specific side. And now we see the specific stats on our screen.
You know what Mecha Break needs? Different finishers. Can you imagine? Fatality.
We got
and
finishers.
You just pull out, like, I don't know, the battery pack of, I don't know.
Oh my God. Falcons is the most egregious. You have this skinny guy who basically sticks his gun in your chest and then your head comes off.
Oh my God.
And he throws it. He's just like, yeah, bye.
What does Welkin do? Behead you or something?
Welkin has like a spin Hulk smash you into the ground because you stuck to the front of his axe.
You can't see
Very
Riv, but I'm
brutal.
sure you could visualize exactly
Oh,
what
I
he
did the
just
full
did.
move without the spin. My chair spins though, but I don't want to fall off. So that's huge from Hunter on the Stego, looking at 1 million damage of what they were able to fight. Same thing from me, Ming Ziming. Really good stuff.
Border versus Yinzi. I'm seeing 500,000 versus 300,000.
The Stego.
The Stego. You know what? That's the most logical answer.
It is true.
The fun answer would be Border, but the most the most correct answer would be Stego.
Stego. Hunter bringing that in at 3, 2, and 8 on the KDA. So it looks like he was involved in just about every fight the team was having, as well as defensive